time for Motohop on Air.
Welcome to episode 16.
16, don't be mean.
We are recording this December 29th, right on time at almost 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a minute.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Funny. So it turns out trying to do a podcast and the holidays
Is a joke.
Yeah.
Is a heckin' joke.
So better planning next year. This is, I don't know, probably like 8th real attempt to I'm going to record a podcast tonight.
Yeah, you hyped yourself up a few times.
Yeah.
Plans got in the way. Mental energy wasn't there. Sometimes it's just this just doesn't feel like stuff like anyone should care about sometimes. I know not everyone has family stuff, but it's kind of hard because that's our perspective is there's just so much going on.
I mean, the podcasts that I listen to are important to me. When they don't upload, I notice, right?
Yeah,
so I do want to make this promise. If I ever plan on pod fading, you'll at least get a notice episode that says, hey, I'm not going to be here for a while.
Well,
My goal is to not go over 2 weeks ever between episodes.
We didn't really plan, but at the same time, people aren't driving as much around the holidays. And if you are, you have other people in the car, so you're not necessarily going to tune in the same way that you would if you were either driving by yourself or working or something like that. So
for sure,
hopefully, all 3 of our fans didn't notice.
We may have more than 3 fans.
It's true. Our sticker sales say otherwise.
Yeah, and more importantly, a portion of those sticker sales have come through our website and not through Etsy's, algorithm search results or their offsite advertising, which I need to turn off because I didn't realize that it was still enabled. So this last billing cycle, they whacked us for a couple bucks of ads they decided to spend.
I don't think it was very much.
Yeah, I said it was a couple bucks, but
yeah, still counts. I mean, when you're only selling a couple dollar stickers, I don't want to say every penny counts. I mean, we're not really that hard up for cash, but no. I mean, every 25 cents counts.
Yeah, I will say, in case you're missing it, because I try to surface it in every way I can on the Etsy page. Anything over $8 ships free.
Do you need a code for that?
No.
Okay,
no.
So it is.
You just have to add more than one sticker to your cart.
Yeah, because it's $1 minimum, which you automatically hit with multiple stickers, which is great, because it takes the same amount of time for us to package one sticker as it does 3. So you might as well reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is just us trying to offset. You can order a single sticker. I think we have shipping set to $2.50. Most of that is just to offset packaging between our time and putting stuff in an envelope.
Yeah, because you can only make so much profit on one sticker.
Yeah. So that's why order 2 stickers. It's in your benefit.
Yeah, it's a $1 difference or something. Absolutely
it's literally
ridiculous.
$1 difference most of the time. The one that went through today was $7 after tax.
And it's
for an extra buck, they would have got a whole second sticker.
Yeah, and for people who have sticker anxiety, which I know is super common, you get a sticker you like, and you're like, what do I do with it? I'm afraid if I put it on a water bottle, I lose my water bottle, my sticker is gone. It's yeah, keep one as backup. Yeah. Or I have a lot of friends who want to support me but don't know what to do with the stickers, whether they don't partake in the water bottle situation or whatever. It's buy a glass picture frame, put it in your office, and just put the stickers on the glass. There's so many things you can do without putting it on your car. That's one thing I would never do. Or laptop. Wouldn't do that either. Did that once. No, thank you.
Yeah, if you have a case on your laptop or if it's a not aluminum laptop, it's not as big of a deal.
And now we're on a topic that I can talk about.
Yeah.
You can also go to Lowe's and get a very inexpensive acrylic sheet. I have 4 of those.
Yeah.
And a bajillion stickers that we need to add to them more.
Really cool sticker displays from stickers you've collected in your travels.
Yeah, I buy those instead of souvenirs because they're cheap, they're flat, and they're easy to share.
Yeah.
Low commitment. So get your stickers. Oh, and I ordered a whole bunch more of the Motocompacto because the sticker, not the actual mobile. because we have basically sold out of them, which is insane. Like multiple stickers every day get sold. So Matt kind of flags it to me because it's easy to kind of like spiral and get caught up in my own world. I have my own Etsy page, which I have since turned off. But yeah, we are getting multiple orders every day, which is amazing. We only have a handful of stickers left, but we will have the reorder in like a week. So
you just reordered what, like 100?
Yeah, because the first decent sized bundle, I thought 25 or 50, whatever it was, would last us a while, but
turns out no.
Not in the past week.
No. It probably helps that Motocompactos have been delayed.
Oh. Yeah, people, maybe we didn't send out a ton before Christmas. Most of them have been ordered since. So, like, what I'm saying, though, is people weren't buying them and using them to, like, sub the gift.
I think they might have. I don't agree with that statement you just made. We've only had, like, 4 orders post-Christmas.
Well, I guess it's only been a few days. But we're getting 1 to 2 orders a day, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But very excited to have one of them take off.
For sure. So... yeah, other than holidays going on and life and everything.
Life.
It also didn't help that you've been like ever-changing symptoms of sickness for the past week and a half.
Hashtag not COVID.
Yeah.
I took another COVID test this morning.
Yeah. Still not COVID.
Still not COVID. Just COVID's close first cousin. A virus is a virus in my head at this point in time. And like, we just gave COVID a name and turned the world off. But I mean, really, there's so much going around influenzas and stuff right now. It's just the world we live in.
It makes it sound like COVID wasn't serious, and it was.
Well, no, obviously it was. I lost my job over it. But I'm just saying that, like...
people we know ended up on ventilators for like 9 months.
And died, so I'm not downplaying it.
Well, yes. Just wanted to reiterate that.
Okay,
you just glossed over and like a virus is a virus.
Well, obviously not, but I think there's also, a lot of dangers in the influenzas that...
Oh, for sure.
Is really serious right now. Children's hospitals are full of RSV, influenzas, pneumonia, and everything. And it's really scary. I'm just saying that like COVID is not the only thing we need to worry about because what I had was just as bad. And honestly, almost the exact same symptoms. So take care of yourself. Don't go to the gym if you're sick. Sweating it out is a lie. Because that's normally where I get all of my ailments. And it wouldn't have been so bad, but I lost my voice for like 3 days and I'm still crackly a week later. So
yeah, much better today than you were.
Yeah, that hurt. It hurt for days.
Yeah.
But we're back-ish.
Let's start at the normal point that we normally start. What's in your cup?
Well, because I have a weakened immune system, I am not drinking alcohol tonight. And I have a Fever Tree ginger ale with some cranberry in it. Because we're still holding on to the cranberry ginger vibe.
Yes, as long as possible.
It's delicious. Don't you have something? You have a pink drink?
I have 2 things going on over here. Yes, one of them is a pinkish red. So in the taller cup, I have some Reed's cranberry ginger ale mixed with 4 Roses bourbon.
Ew.
I've done it before.
And I probably said ew then too.
Probably. It's delicious. And then I have just a little pour here of some bourbon I grabbed the other night when we stopped by the liquor store. It is Western Reserve Distillers. I believe this was a bourbon blend that's been aged 4 years. It is quite delicious, but definitely more on the... I mean, I guess you can mix anything.
Well, you're drinking that, what do you call it? Just sipping. On the rocks?
Yeah, just on the rocks here.
Whatever it is.
Yep.
Rating from 0 to 10?
What's 10? I feel like 10 is
10
bourbons I haven't spent good money on yet.
I mean, it's possible, but I guess 10 would be like all-time favorite. And then like, obviously,
I'm
0
partial.
would be like Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, I'm really... Well, you say that because you don't like it.
Because it was horrible. Clean my floors with it.
Of stuff I've had, my 10 would be Freedom Whiskey. Mm-hmm. Both because the branding is fun and I actually enjoy it. This is probably like a 9.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Plus, it's cool that they're local. I think the bottle said they were out of Lakewood.
Oh, yeah. It's just an hour away.
Yeah. So, I thought it'd be fun to go over Christmas gifts we received and or gave, because you gave me a few of them that are motorcycle related.
Well, there was a couple that I gave that were semi-motorcycle related that I didn't put on the list. I'll add them to the bottom of our list.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Do you want to start, or would you like me to start?
Well, the first couple of years gifts you received, so I guess you could brief through it. Because honestly, okay, so this is the one I gave, you received. That's the one, probably major one.
One of them.
Here. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. I keep forgetting. I literally almost forgot to give that second one to you.
The stool?
Yeah, the giant box.
How?
Because everything else I bought you was the same size, and it was all very compact and small, and I had it in like this
and then there's just like one
beautiful
large
package,
box,
and then there was one large box that like I kept mentally like forgetting existed. I don't know why.
So you got me a Craftsman rolling stool that has like built-in tool drawers and like tray on it.
So that was the second item we were talking about.
So
it's like 40 pounds and in like a 24 by 24 inch box, like pretty hefty size, but I just
compared
forgot
to the rest of what you gave me,
forgot it existed. Yeah. Haven't put it together yet, so no review on that.
No, excited for it though. Always good to have stools, chairs, rolly things in the garage.
Yeah, and the thing I liked about it is that it had, I guess I don't know any of the technical terms, holes. So it's got different places to put the tools on you. So it's not just a rolly stool.
No, it's like a little tiny mobile cart that you can sit on.
Pockets or something, and then also like a tray underneath you, and like something else, like things you can like...
Yeah, 2 roller bearing drawers.
Oh, the drawers. Yeah, that was the other thing. So a little bit of everything on there. Hopefully, if it's not comfortable, the function makes up for it.
Yeah. Excited to try it. And then... kind of businessy write-off, but
it definitely is.
A camera.
It was
Insta360 Ace Pro, which
kinda
if
risky.
you're unfamiliar is kind of like their GoPro, sort of.
Yeah, basically it's like an advanced better than a GoPro. And like I thought, so in my head, you had mentioned it a few times. You had talked about kind of wanting one, or so I thought. But when I gave it to you, you said, "What is this? I didn't know this existed." So
yes.
I've since been a little concerned, but
no, still excited for it. It is pretty cool. I didn't know that they came out with it. It has not been out very long. The one that I had been looking at was their, I already forget what it was called, Go 3 or something like that.
It wasn't Ace, it just wasn't a Pro. Oh, the little tiny one.
Yeah, the little tiny one.
I want to call it a Shuffle because that's what it reminds me of.
I think
that's not it.
It's called the...
Oh, you're going to have to look it up. It's going to bother you.
Look it up, yes.
Can't just let it go.
No, I cannot.
No Elsa in this house. We don't let anything go.
That's funny. Let's see.
So the thing that every time we talked about the sibling of this camera is you said you like the flip screen. So the difference between this and a GoPro is the flip screen behind it. So you can check your shots.
Well, more than just that. So yes, it was the Go 3 I was looking at. The Go 3 is interesting because it's tiny, but it has a case it drops into that's like GoPro size that has a flip up screen. So like not just being able to like 180 it up over the top so you can like hold it out and see yourself. It also allows you to get different angles that you can't as easily frame on a GoPro. Like if you want to do a low angle upward.
Oh, because you'd have no idea what you could see.
Yeah, because you can flip the screen out 90 degrees so you can see it. And the Ace Pro is like co-engineered with Leica, which is cool. These were both into cameras and you're into Leicas.
I usually just buy the most expensive thing out there and assume you're going to love it.
I mean, that's not entirely true.
I know, but with some things like lenses.
That is not anywhere near the most expensive action camera.
No. I mean, like, okay, my options were that, and then like there's a parallel one that's like $100 less. But I was
the
like,
Ace versus the Ace Pro,
right? Yeah. That I was like, no. Sure. And I mean, generally speaking, like you just bump up after a certain point. You just pay the little bit extra. Obviously, there's a threshold there, but I was like, no, the sensor is like twice the size. So that's got to mean something. And there's a reason they came out with it. Yeah,
the low light performance from what I've seen so far, I haven't really tested it much yet. Seems to be pretty good. Excited. It looks like from what I've done some reading, and I meant to check this before we hopped on here. I'll check it by next episode.
Okay.
Someone confirmed that they were able to sync their Senna Bluetooth communicator to it. So I'm hoping I can connect my Cardo unit to it and not have to add additional microphones into my helmet. But hopefully this will... I had toyed around with doing some video this fall, hoping to do more video in the new year.
Yeah,
this is...
I was thinking about how I probably need to get up on my editing skills because I know that's where you tend to lose interest.
Not so much lose interest, but I know it
it
bogs me down because like when we set this up, what did I tell you? Like I was doing everything I could to avoid editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like editing pictures, but the thing is I have to get over the threshold of like not wanting to go through and upload the pictures. But once they're on my computer and I'm actually in there, I'll spend hours in there, but I have to get over that speed bump.
That's my issue with like video editing and photo editing. Digital files are never done because you can keep tweaking.
Well,
right?
you're not as good as calling it off. You have a little less control.
Yeah.
You have a more obsessive personality than I do. I'm very good at good enough. You are not.
So what I also read is somehow between this camera and I think their software suite, they have some type of like highlight clip AI built in.
Ooh,
so hopefully
cool.
It'll minimize my editing even further.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I edited, but maybe I'll just have to get back into it or something. My rates are about to go up.
So what's something you got?
Oh, goodness. I gotta go down the list.
Because you keep forgetting what it is.
I know, because you say motorcycle thing, and I'm like, I didn't get any tools. Like, that's where my head goes.
No.
So I had found, and I follow, is it Go Fast, Don't Die?
Yes.
They've got some great things that are not motorcycle related. So
they all are motorcycle related in some way. But
well, they can be.
Not motorcycle, like over the top, in your face motorcycle.
No. So the saying that I liked of them, I liked the font style. I like the messaging. It's very vague. But let it destroy what destroys you shirt, kind of like the overcome the things.
Yeah.
My only flag on that is I'm surprised at how small it is.
Yeah, definitely more modern cut.
Usually a medium is baggy on me. This medium is like a smedium. It is medium. It is not a true medium. No. And I want it oversized to like wear with leggings. So I would say go up almost 2 sizes. Quality is great. Don't get me wrong. It's just the sizing. Check the size chart. I'm sure it's in there. Usually manufacturers have those. And they private label everything. So I'm not 100% sure what it is without looking. But great. Super soft. It does fit. Just be aware of that.
Yeah. Not as big as you were assuming it was going to be for being a sweatshirt.
No, I mean, I haven't been to the gym in like a week and a half. But like my shirt should fit, you know?
Yeah. And then a couple other things that I got that are like garage related was... some Dickies coveralls, a Montezuma shop box as just kind of a trial item to see if I wanted to invest in one of their bigger boxes. Pretty cool so far. If you haven't seen their shop boxes, they're these triangular shaped tool boxes that basically you can just have all of your tools like loaded and ready to go. And when you flip it open, virtually everything's visible because I am very much one. I have a bag that is kind of my can do almost anything bag that rides in my car if we go on vacation, if we go to vintage days, if we go wherever, with the exception of a few specialty tools like basic socket kit, Phillips flathead, JIS screwdrivers, wrench roll. And this is just a more organized way for me to transport all that and find tools faster.
It's definitely a cool user experience vibe of having everything sitting out. Like,
just like front and center.
It's like a display more than a tool box. Like a tool box you dump things into. This is like a tool display.
Well, when it's open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you're showing the world what tools you have in your car, but yeah.
It's like a trench coat. You like open it up and it's got like the inner arm of tools.
Yeah. And then to add to my shop box that will travel virtually everywhere, a digital torque adapter.
Tell me what that
Crickets. Does. So instead of having a torque wrench, which tells you how tight a bolt is if you didn't know, I felt very mansplainy saying that. So
I know what torque is.
Okay.
I learned torque in sculpture class because we had
Of course you
to
did.
carve.
Like where you learned welding.
Yeah. I'm a very well-rounded person.
Yeah.
We had to carve alabaster, and we had to show movement. And by doing that, we talked about torque, which is like pulling, as being like a movement in which we had to carve our sculptures.
Yeah.
Very important stuff.
So the digital torque adapter, though, is going to replace 2 of the torque wrenches that I carry around. 3/8 drive, but from memory, I think it'll register something like 5 or 8 foot-pounds up to 100. So that's not necessarily everything, but the bulk of what the range I'm normally working in.
How are you feeling, to loop back around, about that Montezuma shot box so far? Because it's been jingling around in your X5.
Yeah, for something that's riding in the trunk of my car, I'm going to put some sound deadening in it.
Yeah.
If you had it in the bed of a
like
truck,
shelf liner or something, just where it's hitting, or do you think you have to wrap the tools?
No, not wrap the tools.
That's
but
not
yeah,
wouldn't work.
No. Shelf liner, maybe some double stick tape to put it on the walls. I think most of the sound I'm hearing is where I have the wrenches hung inside it. Everything else feels pretty secure.
You know what you can do?
So what?
Is 3D print a thing? You know how like when you paint your toenails, you know exactly about this,
separator.
Right? Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. You have sisters.
Yes.
Maybe you need a tool separator instead of a toe separator.
Yeah, they don't necessarily need separated. It's not them against each other. It's more them against the box.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, otherwise, really cool. I was very on the fence about them the first time I saw them. And then they started growing on me. Then I put it on a list for our gift exchange we did.
Mm-hmm. A little Secret Santa swap situation.
Yeah. And yeah, pretty stoked about it.
Good.
What else did you get?
So, you got me a solo stove.
Yes. And why is that motorcycle related?
Because it's coming to Vintage Days, baby. There was not enough fire at Vintage Days, and I said, "Behold, the pyro is here. I shall bring thy fire."
Yes.
And I pounded on my chest.
I vaguely remember this, yes.
But I mean, we're pretty open about creating lists of things that we want.
Yeah.
You know, because we're adults and it's fine. You want to get stuff that you're excited about. So I had put this on my list, and I had picked the Ranger one. So I have a teeny tiny tabletop one that I had done as a promotion, like a client promotion with the company I used to work for. And it's just the cutest little thing. And like in the past year, they've come out with the pellet adapters. You have pellets from grilling, but the pellet adapters, like when picking out the different sizes, I had to go through and be like, okay, well, some of these are so small, you like can't fit twigs in them. But if they're too big for twigs, but not big enough for logs, you have to literally have a hatchet with you in order to like
cut everything down.
Have like big splinters to put in there. Like it's a challenge of like some of them I thought were amazing sizes, but when it comes to the logic of having something to put in them, it just wasn't there. So the pellet adapters in my mind was a pretty big breakthrough. And we've used the tabletop one, the teeny tiny tabletop one, a couple times, and it's just so nice to just be able to like shovel a little bit in there without having to like get up. Yeah. So the Ranger I picked out because it is the biggest small one that comes with like
smallest big one,
and the biggest small one. But it comes with a carrying case. It's the biggest one that comes with a carrying case that you could actually fit wood in. Yeah. I mean, it is pretty big as far as like storage. I don't think you'd want to store it in like a van. It'll be fine in an RV, but just when it comes to like logic of space, maybe not. But like I wanted the freedom to like have all the fun accessories.
Yeah, small enough to go in your camper motorhome if you had van with enough space potentially. Yeah. But yeah, big enough that like standard length firewood cuts should fit in it.
Yeah, like anything you could buy at like a general store, at a campsite, or
if you're not cutting your own wood down. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing was like I wanted the heat deflector, which is huge, because that makes it feel so much bigger than it is anyways. So
well, not only that, but because of the way they work, if you're unfamiliar with Solo Stove, they were kind of the first mass marketed smoke-free fire pit. Mm-hmm. And the way they kind of bring air in and then help expel like air to maximize combustion. There's a lot of heat going vertical, which is not necessarily what you want with a fire pit.
No, you literally have to
trying to stay warm.
rotisserie yourself over top of it.
Yeah, so the heat deflector is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, we haven't really tried it yet, but simple science. I feel good about it. I feel good about my choices. But yeah, so we just need a dry day. It obviously doesn't need to be warm. We need a dry day to try this out.
Yeah. And then you also gifted something that is vehicle related.
Yeah, I really don't know anything about this, but you helped me find it on the Amazon.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it a battery charger? Like a jump
mobile box. Yeah, like one of the little lithium jump boxes. If you don't have one, pretty handy to have around.
It's crazy how inexpensive batteries are anymore, because it's like when we were looking for those mobile chargers for our phone.
Yeah, or like portable power banks. Yeah.
Like,
like what they used to cost versus what they do now.
Yeah, like a good one would be like, I don't know. You can find a bad one for $30. You can find a good one for like $100. This like battery charger, I think it was $50.
Yeah, something like that.
And it had a USB thing on it, right? Like a
it's got USB output. It's got a light built in.
And how many phones would that thing charge?
Oh, I don't know.
Like an insane amount.
Yeah, I mean, it's got decent capacity, but they're all about how much they can discharge. I think that was I'm sure it's not correctly rated, but I think they called it an up to 1,000 amp discharge on the jump.
Mm-hmm. But that'll power a regular vehicle.
Yeah, I think they always rate them in engine sizes, which is weird because it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess to some extent a loose guide for people who don't know any better. But yeah, it do most anything other than like big diesel trucks.
Yeah. But still good even if you have an electric outage or something like that to have backup battery. And if it can also like do your car and stuff, like I just think about, I don't want to say money wasted because we have used our external batteries over and over again, but like how much further your dollar goes and how much more versatile and how you can buy for multiple things now. I love not buying for a specific purpose. So
yeah,
what a great gift, especially like I said, we'll have to look into one for camping and stuff if we need an extra battery situation.
Yeah. Well, ready to get into some news?
Always.
There's quite a backlog since we haven't been here.
We're not going to go through
weeks.
everything. You're just going to do highlights.
Yeah. No, I mean, we skipped some of the less interesting stuff, but we're going to start off with recalls because there's been a few. The first one, in some ways, like it could be dangerous, but it's also kind of the funny one to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So Cake, who makes electric bikes and also kind of motorcycle-ish things, the 2020 to 2022 Cake OSA Flex mopeds may have the steering column break.
In half?
I mean,
maybe.
Sounds
Is it just
that way.
like a bad weld?
Yeah, it says it could. So they made an aluminum steering column, and it can become fatigued over time, and in certain cases can shear when subjected to a hard impact.
I feel like a lot of things could happen when you subject yourself to a hard impact.
Sure, but you know it's not ideal in a two-wheeled vehicle?
Losing a wheel?
When it rapidly becomes two one-wheeled vehicles.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't even equip themselves for like, what was the terminology? Rapid impact?
Rapid. Oh, no. You mean what did they just say?
Yeah.
When subjected to a hard impact.
Hard impact.
Yeah. I thought you were looking for rapid, unscheduled disassembly.
No, that's pretty good though.
Yeah.
That's not what you want. That would be like those old cartoons where they'd be like riding the bike and like, you know, the wheels would fall off, but they'd stay hovering for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then they'd fall over.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it happened to you, it wouldn't be as funny. So hopefully no one listening to this has had this happen to them. But it's a funny idea to think about.
It's also funny to say you bought something from Cake. I've never heard the name Cake before.
Yeah. We talked about them a couple times.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So, as always, link will be in the show notes to the NHTSA site. You can double check all fun stuff with them. Basically, it sounds like they're going to be replacing the steering column with a steel one, free of charge.
Yay, free.
Let's see. Recall 2, Harley Davidson. Again, they've just been on a roll. 2023 Harley Davidson CVO Street Glides. So we're talking about some of the most expensive bikes Harley has.
And brand new.
Yes, and very new. Quote, may respond more than expected to road and environmental inputs. Example, road irregularities and wind gusts when operated at speeds exceeding 100 miles an hour.
Okay, why are we going 100 miles an hour?
Yeah, so I guess it's a voluntary safety recall. It's got to do with an issue with the calibration of the engine control modules.
So if you hit a pothole?
Well,
is it a road irregularities?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, so
good grief.
Probably gonna have to take your bike in. Probably going to be a software update.
But I guess with how many bikes do you think Harley has come out for you? Do you think they're destined?
I hadn't read this part. Wait.
Okay, I'm ready.
So it's not a software update. The recall kit provided to authorized Harley dealers will include both a ballast and a strap. So they're going to put weight on your bike and then strap something down, maybe the ballast.
Just comes with duct tape.
Yeah. Here's a lead brick and some duct tape for your $30,000+ motorcycle.
You don't get a brick, you get a roll of pennies.
Yeah. Here's a sock full of pennies and some duct tape. Yeah. Not, interesting. And if that was bad enough, the next one, Dennis Chung over at motorcycle.com, again, just always with the breaking stories, read deep enough into this to realize that, so Indian has a recall, and in this recall has leaked a model they haven't announced yet.
Oops.
Yep. Well, because the bike that's not even out yet has a recall.
How does that work? It seems a little dramatic.
Because they know that a part involved in that bike has an issue.
We're not going to fix it, so we're just going to send it to you home with the pink slip.
Well, they got to make sure that any of them that have already been produced, are flagged to get the repairs. But let me get this pulled up. So this is, sorry, bear with me. 2023 to 2024 Indians. It is the Dark Horse Icon, Indian Chieftain, Elite, Chieftain Limited, the regular Chieftain, the Roadmaster Limited, the Roadmaster Dark Horse, the regular Roadmaster, the Springfield Dark Horse, and the one that got leaked was the Roadmaster Elite, the 2024 model year Roadmaster Elites that don't exist yet, with production dates from June of this year to August of this year.
Surprise.
Yeah, so again, link will be in the show notes. They have an issue with an improperly routed crankshaft position sensor. It may cause the crank position sensor to contact the front head pipe and result in sensor failure and the vehicle to stall during operation, which increase the risk for crash and serious injury.
Ouch.
Not ideal. Not as funny as your steering column shearing off, but
nothing is as funny as a moped losing a wheel.
Yeah.
Unicycle.
And I feel like
you just remarket them.
Yeah.
It's all about the marketing.
This one, I feel you may have a point of view on from your passenger rating.
Oh, I didn't even look at it. 2016
to 2023, Ducati X Diavel S and standard versions.
I accidentally clicked on the PDF instead of the important one. I don't see a passenger seat. So is that a joke?
No. So it's the passenger backrest that's failing.
I don't see a backrest on the picture you posted.
I put there if you want to read through text instead of deciphering the PDF. Yeah, I mean they obviously don't have a backrest in that picture.
Yeah, if my backrest came off as a passenger, I might come off as well. I would not be very happy.
Yeah. So the descriptive information they have on here is reports from the network of broken passenger backrests. Ducati started to review and analyze warranty claims, yada yada. Turns out it's a big enough issue that they need to recall them.
They say incorrect installation of the part or possible incorrect usage by the passenger. Can you imagine using a backrest wrong? Yeah. Could lead to a broken backrest, which could cause a passenger to fall from the bike and be injured, which I know you can ride without the backrest, but if you assume it's there and it's not.
And then suddenly it's not. Like your front tire. Yeah.
Goodness.
Okay. So there we go. At least all the recalls I'm aware of, caught up on. Now into fun stories.
I haven't read any of these. You added a few. Oh, I knew about the one at the end.
Well, one of the ones at the end, yeah. So I have no idea how to pronounce this company's name. Taquita.
TAC Ita.
TACITA.
Taquita. Sounds good.
Discanta, I believe, is the model.
Discanto.
What? Oh, yeah, sorry. Discanto.
The male version.
Yeah. They're bringing a electric rally bike to Dakar. Now,
where's Dakar?
Formerly known as the Paris-Dakar Rally. It moves around every year. I believe this year it's
so
somewhere
it's the
in
name
Africa.
of a show, not a place.
A race. Off-road race. Yeah.
Got it.
Like, have you heard of the Baja 1000?
Sure.
Okay. Baja 1000 is a off-road race that occurs in Baja, Mexico. Dakar.
Well, that's why I wanted to know where Dakar was, is because usually they're like namesake.
Yeah, formerly it was the Paris-Dakar Rally, and it went from Paris to Dakar.
They should call it the motorcycle.
Well, it involves four-wheeled vehicles and two-wheeled vehicles.
Oh, so there is a car at Dakar.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they're doing an electric motorcycle. They're doing 2 teams. The interesting parts of this are the bike they're using to compete. It's got a 5-speed gearbox. If you remember back to my motorcycle history, or what did I call it? History of electric motorcycles, the parts I care about, or something like that.
Yep. Sounds accurate.
Bramo and then Victory Impulse TT had a traditional gearbox. So this is another electric bike with multiple gears. Quick swap battery. Because this race happens in stages, they don't really talk much about what the range is of this bike. It obviously must be enough to get to the next stage break. And then they're going to swap batteries. The other thing that was interesting is they plan on having like an entirely, I forget what they called it, no sound or no noise and no CO2 like camp. That's going to be like all solar and wind and hydrogen powered, and they will be charging the bike batteries off of that little grid they're bringing with them.
Oh, sounds quiet.
Yeah. So intriguing. The bike looks interesting. It's got quite a beak on that fairing. One of the articles I was reading, it was Zach over at ADV Rider said, quote, he said, I can hear, that looks like a Bosuzuku motorcycle. If the fairing was a little higher and it had really tall exhaust pipes, yes, but it's not far off. It looks front heavy, but I'm intrigued by the look of it. What do you think about the idea of racing an electric motorcycle through the middle of a desert?
Sounds like it'd be a really good idea if it like solar charged while you were riding it.
Yeah.
'Cause duh. Yeah. I guess obviously you need to make sure the engine is protected from the sand.
Yeah, I'm sure they're getting it sealed up somehow. It is liquid cooled.
Otherwise it'd be really quiet. It'd be a very different experience.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention, these bikes, I think the They're electronically speed limited to 90 something, 94, 95 miles an hour, which is moving pretty good, especially running across sand.
The one picture they have posted on the website, it looks very disproportional. I think it's poor foreground of this bike.
Is it the one with like the two teams?
The guys look like Oompa Loompas next to it.
Yeah, I think it's a really bad photoshopping of everything together.
Or, I mean, maybe it's not photoshopped with how close they put the bike. And the guys must be like 10 feet away instead of 6 inches away, what it looks like.
Yeah, definitely some weird forced perspective in some of their media pictures. But yeah, so that'd be cool to watch. And if you're interested in watching it, you should know that they're doing kind of a fantasy league for Dakar this year. Link will be in the show notes. ADV Pulse, I know, covered it. Basically, you're going to go in, you'll sign up, you're going to pick a team from like each of the classes. So of the 7 classes, you'll select one vehicle from each. And then if they finish a stage, you'll get 20 points. If they finish in the top 10, you'll get points depending on where they finish in the top 10. And then there'll be prizes awarded depending on where you finish points-wise. So
that's fun.
Yeah. Different way to experience the race. Especially because it occurs over multiple days. I think this year it's like almost 2 weeks. Week and a half.
Party.
Yeah. I forget what the dates are this year. I know I had them somewhere. Yeah.
Cool.
So check it out. All right. On to the next. Okay. I forget if it was last episode or the episode before. I don't know if you remember. We talked about companies copying other companies' design. Mm-hmm. Sometimes a little too closely. Mm-hmm. If you haven't looked at this, SWM, which is a Chinese motorcycle manufacturer, released a bike called the Stormbreaker. And it's not even heavily inspired by the Sportster. Mm-hmm. It is a Harley Davidson Evolution Sportster. The exception is where the timing cover would be, instead of being a circle, is an oval. And kind of slight modifications like that around the bike. It has the same dimensions, the same like weight, power output, displacement, push rod, 45-degree V-twin.
Kind of seems like I don't know how you patent things. Mm-hmm. It seems like they should have like proportions patented or something.
Yeah, it's really interesting how much this is a blatant copy of the Sportster. Now, I guess the one thing in their favor is Harley Davidson is not producing the Sportster. Now, that doesn't really give them any right, typically, to just plagiarize a design.
That doesn't mean their patent's up if they have one.
Yeah, I mean, whatever design patents they have, I'm sure are still in place. But interesting to see such a direct copy of a bike. Mm-hmm. If this ever makes it to the States, I will be shocked.
What's the price point?
I think it was roughly $10,000 or $11,000, roughly.
What's a Sportster normally?
You can't buy one; they don't exist.
Well, what's I guess if you wanted a Sportster, would you be better off buying this? The
Sportster 883 was, I think, the last new bike Harley sold, or when I say last, the most recent bike Harley sold that I had an MSRP below $10,000. But this is a 1200, and the 1200s were always a little over $10,000, depending on what they were doing at the time. I want to say the Evo 1200s were kind of like 12 to 14,000 ish. I might be a little off on that, but yeah. But then on the other end of the spectrum, whereas this is a direct copy, there's another company called, I'm sure they pronounce it differently, but it is spelled Jedi. Jedi Motor has a bike called the 4L. Also, the Custom the Cruiser 250, the Custom 250. It's referred to by several different names. What's funny about it, it is a 250cc single cylinder street glide-ish.
The fairing is interesting.
The fairing is a really close copy to a Harley Street Glide. The bags are very close to Harley's shape. And then everything else falls apart. But it has like lower fairings on engine guards like the Harley touring bikes do. It just has all of this. If someone was given, like, if they'd never seen a motorcycle before, and you gave them, like, I don't know, 30 seconds to look at a Harley Street Glide, and then they had to draw it.
They draw this. Is this like the Wish.com version?
Yeah, it's the Wish.com Harley Street Glide. Huh. And now, as I say that, I think it'd be really interesting to have for multiple reasons. One, it's just kind of funny proposition to have like this full-blown touring bike that's a 250. Two, boy, would it piss some people off at poker runs.
But if you put like a Harley pinstriping or something on it.
100%. Harley decals everywhere. The freaking skulls and eagles up over the top, like everything. Obnoxiously Harley is what you'd have to do with this.
You could put like almost Harley Davidson on the logo.
But just really tiny, have almost written.
No, call it a Harley Davidson.
Yeah. This is the epitome of a Harley Davidson. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was just funny to see those back to back, to see this like almost bolt for bolt Sportster clone, and then this wants to be a Harley Street Glide.
Sometimes you can get good deals on dupes, though. I mean, dupes aren't always bad. I've got a lot of dupe leggings. You know, like even when it comes to like coffee makers and stuff, you know, like you buy yourself a, I don't know, random generic brand of like a fellow electric kettle. I mean, water still gets warm, you know, as long as it works and it's reliable. I mean, to an extent, if like what you can afford is a dupe, get the dupe. Like, no shame. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There's so many bikes that we'll just never see stateside. Speaking of bikes we'll never see stateside, I hope we get this. If not, 25 years from now when it's eligible for import, we'll be buying one of these.
The Scoot?
Yeah. So it has the worst naming convention ever.
It's literally like people who would sat down and be like, how do we write this? And have never said it out loud in their life. And then a cat walked across the keyboard. Yeah. But like they've never had to say it out loud. Like the people who are coming up with the naming conventions are not the salespeople.
100%. So this is the Sim ADX TG 400.
Or if you want to pronounce it, ADXTG.
Yes. I believe they were going for adventure with the ADX. Where the TG came in, no idea in the slightest.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's what that stands for.
Yeah. So this is an adventure scooter, which we haven't got a lot of in the States.
It looks very comfortable for the rider, not the passenger.
No, you don't think the passenger?
It's like almost recline. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is, but it's definitely rider first, which obviously it kind of has to be to an extent.
Yeah.
But that rider seat looks comfy.
You should pull up the YouTube link for the walk around and you get a better look at the passenger seat. But so 400cc adventure scooter, where it differs from other offerings, really the only offerings we have in the state are the Honda offerings. So 400cc is bigger than the majority of scooters sold in the States. It is has more suspension travel than most of the, quote unquote adventure scooters sold really in general, but also in the States. It has a non-swing arm mounted motor. What I mean by that is if you're familiar with scooters, most of the time the motor kind of also forms the swing arm. This thing is chain drive, and the motor is mounted in the frame.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm watching the little YouTube.
Yeah.
It's definitely flat, but the way that
it has handles.
Driver seat is recessed. It looks like a recliner, and then it's and here's a pedestal to perch a passenger on. I don't want to be perched.
You don't want to be put on a pedestal.
Although they have well incorporated the grab bars.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it had decent passenger accommodations, but you're ultimately the judge. Well, yeah. I mean, it would get a top box regardless, just for storage.
Well, if I had a
concerns.
backrest, I would reconsider my thoughts.
But so 390cc engine, 35 horsepower, 27 foot-pounds of torque. Sim says it is capable across a variety of terrain. I hope so badly that we get this in the States. You've got, it looks like the handlebars are slightly adjustable, handguard standard, very aggressive styling, aluminum swing arm. It, of course, like almost every scooter nowadays, has USB charging, so you can charge your phone, GPS, whatever. It is still, I guess technically, there's a slight dip. It is as little of a dip as you can have. It is by no means a step-through scooter. So it is along the lines of the Honda ADV-X, in where it's really starting to blur lines of motorcycle and scooter geometries, as far as like frame/seating design.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope we can get one of these.
Would you sell the Scarabeo for one?
Yep.
How much do you think it's going to cost?
I don't know. No idea. I didn't see that anywhere. The only where it's been shown is, I believe, it is on the Sim France website right now. It does have off-road mode for the ABS system. It's going to activate emergency braking lights with hard deceleration above 43 miles an hour. Like a lot of European I don't even know if that's a requirement for the European market, but I know a lot of vehicles over there will do like flashing brake lights by default with hard deceleration. It being a maxi scooter, I figured it at least $5,000. Realistically, probably $7,000 if we ever see it.
Yeah, that's not horrible, I guess.
No, but I hope we get to see it. In news of something I am slightly confused about still, but we will likely see in the US. It appears Kawasaki's working on another hybrid, a touring bike. And by touring, everyone seems to think that this is going to be a hybrid Versus. So should be in line with the Ninja 7 and the Z7 hybrid platforms. It's going to be that 450 parallel twin with the electric motor and the battery. I still have mixed feelings on that platform. I want to ride one at some point. Whenever they do demo days next around us, I'm going to make time to go and try and get on one.
Big.
What is big?
This bike.
What bike are you looking at?
The Kawasaki hybrid? You don't think it looks big?
I don't know what you're looking at because the bike I'm talking about doesn't exist yet.
Oh,
you're probably looking at the Ninja 7 and the Z7, which do exist.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
Those are the pictures it pulled in.
Yeah, you're looking at this.
Yes.
Or
yes, the girl on the bike in the front.
this.
Oh,
yeah.
well, I assume that's what we were talking about since it was.
Those ones exist. The Versus will be on the same platform, but more upright touring riding. I mean, those are full-size bikes. They're not obnoxiously big. They are long, though.
the like, I don't know the terminology, the chest of it. It's like thick in front. I don't know.
Yeah,
probably
it
for
is.
both
No,
motors.
no, I
okay.
agree. Yeah.
Thank you for not making me feel
thick.
crazy.
Nope.
She thick.
Yep, she thick and she long. She thick and long.
She's probably fast too.
That's what I'm intrigued to try. Is like, what does when they talked about it, a few of the reviewers, they said that the experience of feeling it transition from the electric motor to the gas, the internal combustion engine, and feeling both power plants at the same time was unlike anything they'd experienced. I want to try it. I want to experience it.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Make sure you follow the right people. Watch your calendars.
100%.
Mark it. I don't know the routine, but
yeah, we're going. I know Iron Pony down in Columbus does Kawasaki demo days. I don't know who else around us does it, but I'll be making time, and I have a fancy new camera to film it on.
It's true.
And we will know by next show if I have to add another microphone to my helmet.
I can be your camera girl.
And now to the story you knew about.
The only one on here that I had heard anything, because Facebook has been serving me the news.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't go on there very often, but it's pulling in from a lot of pages I don't follow lately.
Maybe
trying
because
to get
you're
you
using it less? Trying to find something for you to engage in?
Because I've deleted many, many people, and they're like, we need to give you new things to look at while you're here so you come back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sending me a lot of suggested articles, a lot of like conversations in groups that I don't belong to, any public group that they can pull from that like has good conversation around. They're like,
interesting.
Look at these people fighting over this recipe, or like, I don't know, anything that's related to anything I've ever considered clicking on. Yeah, so news articles.
Yeah.
That's where I get my news, apparently, is Facebook once a week.
Yeah. So you heard about this, and what is this story?
The story is those bird scooters, which were they the first electric scooters to be found in cities a couple years ago? I mean,
I don't know if they were the first, but they're one of the most popular electric scooter rental companies.
Yeah, in like the biggest cities. So like we didn't have them in Akron, but like Columbus had them. Like the big cities, I think LA had them. People were getting hurt.
What's the one in Akron that we have?
I don't know.
They're like orange. It's not bird. I'll look. You keep talking.
I want to know which. There were celebrities that were hurt on these.
Yeah, well, because
people like would fly off of them.
Remember how I was talking about the
Shawn Mendes fell off of one and got hurt.
Whenever I was talking about the Motocompacto, I was like, it's an interesting experience because you're going 15 miles an hour on 8-inch wheels. And these are even smaller.
Rihanna got hurt on one.
Oh, everyone.
How many people have died on bird scooters? Is this a request, like suggested search?
If you haven't ridden one of these rentable electric scooters, then I guarantee you, ask people in your life, someone you know has been launched off of one of these.
Broken bones and missing teeth is the headline of a BuzzFeed article. Celebrity injured in scooter accident. George Clooney.
Yeah.
Was hurt. Now, the crazy thing is like, okay, if you're George Clooney, do you need to rent?
They're like around, scooter? And it was like a cool thing, and like everyone was like,
and no one wore helmets, and they all lost.
That was the issue. Is like you're going too fast on too small of tires, and most people aren't used to this experience, and you should have a helmet on.
In 2020, at least 29 people had died. Like, what does the waiver say? Like, I'm assuming you need an app or something.
Yeah, somewhere when you go through the app, it goes, and you're wearing a helmet, right? And everyone goes, yep, click.
Accept terms and conditions.
Yep. Accept terms and conditions and move on.
Well, even if you are wearing a helmet, you could still lose your teeth or fall off and hurt your back. I know a couple of them like had serious back problems if you fly. Like you hit that front brake, you're going down. Well, you're going over then down.
Yeah. I think they ended up slowing down the scooters from whenever they first started running them. Let's see.
Bird scooter accident leaves LA man paralyzed.
That's not ideal.
Oh my God.
Lime's the other big one, but the one we have in Akron is spin.
Very short words.
Yeah, everyone wants it to be a quick, easy word. So it looks like from a quick glance, I may be wrong.
This is a fun
but most of these
rabbit
have
hole.
a top speed of somewhere between 15 and like 18 miles an hour, which is entirely too fast for that size of tire. Again, broken record,
also,
and not having a helmet on.
And by people who aren't familiar with the brakes, or, you know, like you're riding this thing.
Riding a stand-up scooter. When was the last time most of these people had been on stand-up scooters?
Probably never.
If they're not like our age or younger, they've probably never rode a Razor.
I've never ridden one.
Yeah, like even a kick stand-up scooter?
Maybe a kick stand-up like, once or twice, but never
an electric one. If you've done that, you are now ahead of probably a large percentage of people who rent these things.
And it's just so top-heavy. Because, like, even at, like, use the Motocompacto, for example, at least you're sitting back on it. If anything, you'd be at more risk for wheelie and falling off the back than you would ever. There's no way you can fall off the front of that thing.
No. Not unless you hit a wall or a really tall log or something. You'd have to hit an obstruction at great speed.
And you'd have to be going downhill already.
Yeah.
Like, and the wind would have to be at your back. Like, it would have to be a perfect storm. You're not just going to hit the brake too hard.
Yeah. But
Crazy.
So, Bird Scooter.
Bye-bye.
We started talking about them. So what is the issue with Bird?
They're going bankrupt.
Yes. They are.
Probably from all the lawsuits that were filed.
Yeah, it says enters financial restructuring process and transitions into bankruptcy.
I hate that people are getting laid off because of that, but you guys had a good run.
Yeah, well, it says, so here's always the funny thing, though. This doesn't mean they're going away. The interim CEO says we're making progress towards profitability and aim to accelerate that progress by right-sizing our capital structure through this restructuring. We remain focused on our mission to make cities more livable by using micro-mobility to reduce car usage, traffic, and carbon emissions. So basically what they're doing is getting out of a whole bunch of debt that they can't afford, restructuring, and off they continue down the road.
Good luck.
So
I believe in you, Bird, but also stop being so sketchy.
Yeah. And then this one was sad to me. So if you're familiar with J&P Cycles, they were purchased by Komodo. Komodo also owns Cycle Gear, Revzilla, and Rever. I don't know how it's pronounced. Rever, which is a ride tracking app. And they also list that they own Common Tread, but Common Tread's kind of part of Revzilla, at least in my mind. So they bought J&P Cycles, I believe, 2020. They announced, though, that they'll be closing their Anamosa, Iowa store, which is kind of a bummer because that's where J&P Cycles was founded.
It's interesting they wouldn't keep it open. They must not need it for, like, warehousing and stuff.
Yeah. Now, from what I can find, I don't know that this was, like, their original location, but it's still kind of the home location for J&P. So, pour one out for the OG J&P. I will say they came in clutch for me on my ride back from Florida.
Yes.
I was very stoked to have found their store and find that, I forget.
Would you buy a seat cushion there or something?
Yeah. Was it an Airhawk brand seat cushion? I don't remember what brand it was.
I don't know.
If you've never been to one, they're not everywhere, but kind of cool. Big retail store. Not like high density retail. Like Iron Pony has a lot of stuff per square foot. Kind of more like a Summit Racing, if you're familiar with Summit Racing.
Yeah, maybe
a lot
just
of stuff
the
on display
internet
that you can
kinda
like
killed it,
order that's in the back. Well, they do a lot of online business.
Yeah.
Apparently, it just wasn't worth them keeping that retail location.
Well, and you never know,
It's
too.
in Iowa.
Maybe it was like something to do with the landlord, like some weird, like completely unrelated logistic of maybe keeping the location. Maybe, you know, the landlord changed ownerships or something. They don't really specifically say what the reason is.
Yeah. I will say this. It says the store will remain open through December 31st. So we have, as of recording this, 2 days to drive to Anamosa, Iowa. You down?
Oh my God.
Call off work tomorrow. Hop in the car. One last hurrah for J&P?
They're probably
No?
closed on the
Okay.
31st.
They probably are.
I have a lot of places like the vet that I went to today and stuff. Everyone's just closing all weekend, which I was kind of surprised. Normally vets stay open, but with employee shortages and stuff, no one wants to work the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Or they have the 31st off normally as a paid holiday. And since that's on Sunday, they're giving everyone Saturday off for 3-day weekend.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of it for the news that I wanted to cover in this podcast. I promise the next one will be sooner.
Well, we have a week and then we leave again, so we need to get one out before we're out of town because
the second week of January, we volunteer with a conference. If you are in the world of programming, coding, software development, website development, you should check out CodeMash. Mm-hmm. We've volunteered with them for years now. It's a fantastic time. It's very affordable in the realm of conferences, and it's at the Kalahari, which is an indoor water park and convention center, or conference center in Sandusky, Ohio. I don't know that we're going to record a podcast that week. Probably won't.
I don't think we'll have it in us. We'll have to, and we're always at liberty of the weather, but when we come back, I think we're going to try to come back early because we got a wedding on Saturday, and it's like the whole weekend is gone.
Yeah.
Assuming we maintain physical wellness.
Yeah. So I promise you guys another podcast this coming week. Probably won't get one the second week of January, but we will be back the week after that.
Yeah, maybe Sunday when we get back or something. We'll see.
I plan, as of right now, to at least touch a bit. A few stories came out. I had kind of gotten real into the weeds months back about this. Basically, some research on driver aids in cars, not dealing with motorcycles well. Mm-hmm. I went down the rabbit hole regarding Tesla's autopilot system and it hitting motorcyclists. So we will be covering that next week. And then I figure...
I follow someone on Instagram who said they saw Tesla hit a person the other day.
Oof.
I think it was like in New York City or something. How about ouch?
Not
Doesn't
ideal.
matter what car you get hit by, it still probably hurts the same.
Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. And then we won't talk to you before the first of the year. So Happy New Year's,
Woo.
Wherever you are in the world, in time and space and all that fun stuff. Happy New Year's. We will be back probably with some New Year's resolution in the next episode.
May your New Year's suck less than your old year.
Yes, most definitely. Anything else you want to cover?
No.
Okay.
I think we're good. My voice made it. I survived.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an episode. So see you guys next week.
Bye.